3D modelers. Welcome to your first video tutorial. I'm going to remind you in this video how to log into SketchUp, make sure you're in the right template, and then navigate your three-dimensional environment. So let's do it. So the first step, every time you're always going to type in sketchup.com, and that's going to take you to the website where we're always going to utilize SketchUp. So once you're on the website, the first thing that you want to do is you want to make sure that you're logged in, because if you're not logged in, you're not going to be able to save your work. So at the top of your screen, you're going to see the little person icon. You're going to click on that, and I can confirm that I'm logged in. If I wasn't logged in, it would be asking me to sign in. So then you can just sign in, but this is where you want to go, because then you're going to click My Apps. And it's going to bring you to this page every time, where you are going to select SketchUp for Web. That's what we're using. We're utilizing SketchUp through the internet. So you're going to click Launch right next to SketchUp for Web. And this is going to launch the SketchUp program. Takes a few minutes. There's a lot of stuff to load. And then I can show you how to navigate your screen. Okay, so if I have previous SketchUp files, they will appear here on my home screen, but I'm just going to create a new one so you can see a fresh start. So I'm going to click Create New, and then this is where you have to choose the correct template in order for this to work. So we live in the United States, we utilize feet and inches for our measurements, right? So we want the simple template for feet and inches. So I'm going to click that, and then a SketchUp file is going to open. And this woman is always going to be here. She's really not important to what we're doing. You can keep her there if you want, or you can simply delete her. And to do that, you can just select her and delete, or you could use this eraser tool and click on her to erase her. So she's gone now, but we're still in a three-dimensional environment, okay? So like we said earlier today, this is your horizon line up here, where the gray section of your screen meets the blue. It's called a horizon line. That's where the land is meeting the sky. So you just want to remember that, because if you're navigating your screen and you can no longer see the horizon, you've gone below land. You've gone underneath the ground. So you always want to make sure that you can see that horizon off in the distance. You'll notice these three axes. There's a blue, a green, and a red. Those are just there to remind you of the three-dimensional space and how it works. The green and the red axes are flat on the ground, and the blue axis is up and down. So that's going up into the sky and down into the ground. You'll notice as you draw lines that the color of your line will change based on where you're drawing it in relation to these axes. So they're just there to remind you that you are in a three-dimensional space. To move around your screen, let's talk about the tools that are going to allow you to do that and which ones you should use and when. So first, let me draw something so that you can see how we're moving around it. Just going to make a box, okay? So to move around your screen, there are a few different things you need to know. All of the tools you will need are located at the very bottom of your toolbar on the left-hand side of your screen. It says Orbit. So that's the Orbit tool. It looks like a couple of arrows in a circle. You're going to click the Orbit tool. This is a great tool to move you around your screen. It's going to literally orbit you around the objects that you're drawing. So if I start to click and drag with the Orbit tool, I am moving around my box, okay? I'm moving all the way around. I can also move up and down if I want, okay? So that's going to take you around something. If I simply just want to move over, like I want to move horizontally across my screen, I'm going to use the pan tool, which looks like a little hand. If I click on the pan tool, when I click and drag now, I'm just moving side to side. So you'll find as you start to build things, sometimes you need to orbit and sometimes you just need to pan. The other tools in here are little magnifying glasses. Those are gonna allow you to zoom in and out. If we click on the magnifying glass, you click and drag one direction, you're gonna zoom out, other direction, you're gonna zoom in. If you're using a mouse, you don't even need to utilize this magnifying glass tool because you can simply use your mouse to scroll and zoom in and out. It's an easier, faster way to do it if you'd like to use the mouse. And then this tool, the magnifying glass with the little arrows, is gonna kind of recenter you. So if you've kind of found that you're lost somewhere on your screen, you've orbited around, you can no longer find the object that you were building, that is going to kind of recenter you to that object. So if you ever get lost on your screen, that's the tool you want to use. Let's zoom out a little bit here. Okay, so now that we know how to orbit around our screen and utilize the pan tool, we can become a little bit familiar with this space. Now you are ready to start using the tools to draw stuff. So once you're ready for that, you'll want to watch the next video tutorial.